Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forest coming to you with another market analysis video currency breakdown. This morning, we're going to be looking at the USDJPY. But before we get started to break down this chart and this currency pair, we have to say that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice, but we all know why you guys are here. You guys are here to find good, credible Forex content that can help improve your ability as a trader and that can help put a little bit of extra money in your pocket in these troubling times. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into what's happening on this chart. Remember, we'll do the hard work, so you don't have to. All we ask is that you subscribe, like, and share the video. Subscribing lets you be able to get notification for when our content comes out, so you can have it as it comes out up to date. Liking and sharing pushes our video out there in YouTube so we can build a community, further build our community of profitable traders. Because our goal is to build a community of profitable traders and not just have you just win one or two trades, but to consistently win trades, to consistently maximize your wins and minimize your losses. And now, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into what's happening on the chart. Now, if you've been watching our videos for some time, you know that before we get into talking about what's physically happening on the chart, the technical analysis, we always love to discuss what is the fundamentals of what's going on. And currently what's going on, let's discuss the JPY. Now, the JPY is behaving as one of our weaker currencies coming into this trading week, which seems like every currency is trading against it. But we did have some good news. We did have some positive news come out um, around 12:30 a.m. Eastern time, while I was in the towards the tail end of the Asian session, just prior to going into the London session, that we did have some positive news about JPY. So we're going to have to see how that's affecting the market, but it does not look like it's having a very effective, it's being effective towards strengthening the JPY, especially against the USD. Okay, so even though we did have some positive news come out about it, it is still acting and behaving on the charts, especially against the other six major currencies, as one of the weaker currencies. So we're going to have to see how this plays out at the opening of the New York session. Okay, now there was no news that came out about the USD. We do have a bunch of news coming out about the USD around 8:30 Eastern time, just prior to the opening of the New York session. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. So we have to base what's going on with the fundamentals of the USD off what happened during the last prior trading week, and we have very positive news come out about the USD during prior trading week. We have more positive news than negative news, so that's a good sign. And plus, we had numbers that basically we had numbers CPI numbers that show that inflation is starting to stagnate and hit its peak, and eventually it's going to start shrinking. Okay. So with that being said, we should have a strengthening JPY, but that strengthening is not happening at the same trajectory as we have a strengthening JPY. I mean, a strengthening USD. The USD is strengthening way. The USD is strengthening at a much faster trajectory rate than the JPY. Even though we've had very good news, very positive news about the JPY happening over the last couple economic news events that's come out about it. It's just that the Japanese economy is getting hit real bad by this inflation that's brought about geopolitics. Okay, now let us discuss what's happening on the chart. Now we've just recently hit a 20-year high. Last time price was this high was in April of 2002. Okay, so we've just recently hit a 20-year high, which means at some point in time this is going to start falling and tumbling down. Okay, I am not a big fan of trading once you start to get to all-time highs and get to all-time lows. From several scenarios that this can go play out. You can have the chart continue to creep up a little bit more, but add on an additional between 10 to 50 pips, or eventually it's going to start dropping. It's going to eventually start falling at some point. Now, at that point, we just don't know, but it is going to happen because you don't just hit a 20-year high and then you're just going to be continually going up, going up, going up, going up. I mean, the Japanese are dealing with some economic woes, but the economy is not totally destroyed. So we are going to see some strength picking up on the Japanese side very soon. Okay. So how far could we drop? Like I said, we could go up an additional between 10 to 50 pips before we drop. So wait for what you really want to do is have a wait for a break in this market structure here. When you see a push down that breaks very aggressively past this market structure here, then it's pretty much safe to say that we're going to be going towards the anticipated short position. Okay, we could drop as far as here, here, or even here before we start ranging and going back up. Now we could have an initial push up furthermore, and then you'll probably get your milk you about another, 10 to 50 pips up towards the long side. But eventually it's eventually going to drop. It's eventually going to drop, and that drop is going to be very serious because, like I said, now we're hitting like 20-year all-time highs. But before you want to see, what you want to see is a break in this market structure here, like a clear breakthrough with long, like with very long, big, high pressure red candles coming in. You want to see that break here. Once you have that break there, anticipate a drop to here, here, or possibly even here. Now, could it continue to go up? It's a possibility it could continue to go up an extra 10 to 50 pips, but I wouldn't be trying to see it. I wouldn't plan for it going much more higher than that. I would be more so just preparing for the drop that is going to happen. Then it just continue to go up because, as we stated, it is at a 20-year all-time high. Okay. I hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.